Hi everyone, welcome back to Let's Do Bonsai. I'm Scott Winard. I've made a little trip today to China Mist to see Steve Kitchman. He put a pot that grabbed my attention on social media and I'm thinking, I think I might have to have this one. And then with the added incentive of coming anyway to pick up a pot for our good friend Peter, I'm here. So let's go and have a look and see what's going on. Hiya Steve, you alright?
I'm alright, yeah, you?
Thanks for allowing me to come over and have a look.
It's a pleasure.
So this is where it all happens, is it?
Putting on here.
Yep.
Yeah, coming through. Yeah, just watch. Do you want to see the pottery first?
Let's have a look where all the main action happens.
Come on in and have a look. The kiln's still a bit warm. It's warm to touch because it fired last night.
Oh yes, yeah.
So we'll have to see what goodies are in there.
So all the items that would have been drying on there,
yeah,
are in there.
That's why it looks a little bit empty.
It's not that you've been lazy and not been working.
No, they're all done.
Your hard work is now fired.
So this is where we're at. Yeah, we obviously if I'm using the wheel, everything goes on in there. It's very tidy at the moment, so anyone would think I've just tidied up for you, but I haven't, honest.
I wouldn't have it said. I wouldn't believe it.
So I make ovals and things on the bench with a nice view out there, so I need to see what I'm doing.
Yeah, the view's nice out there into a nice garden. Bit of hard work on that garden.
I haven't got my waterfall on yet. Yeah, we've redone the garden over the last couple of years, so I've been working on a couple of. You can have a sneak preview on some of these glazes if you want to have a look at these.
Okay.
So there's my instructions to myself as to what I've been doing, but I've managed to develop this crackle glaze, which has taken. Do you want me just to hold that?
That's okay.
Have a little look. So it will be going on a pot now that I know I've sussed it. The others need developing further, but I'm just giving you a little sneak preview as to what I'm doing. So there's going to be a wisteria glaze developed, which I'm nearly there with it. Quite pleased with that one, and I don't mind the bright colours of these two. They just need a lift, maybe a little bit of oomph,
bit more vibrant,
bit more vibrancy, because they're too matte at the moment. So that's how I tend to do the glazes.
So there you go, everybody, a sneak preview
there
to some more glazes that will be coming to the China Mist range.
That's true, that. So other than that, if there's other things you want to see, then by all means, I know you're here to have a look at a pot.
To have a look at my pot.
Have a look at your pot. So
this is where you roll out the clay.
Yeah, I'll show you how we work with that.
Me pretending I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. I hand roll stuff first, but to give the consistency of a big slab, if I'm doing any big stuff, I can obviously change it on here. The depth of this can be changed. It's basically like any slab roller. It's got a series of hardboarding, really, 3mm, 5mm, 6mm, and this will change in terms of how thick I need the clay.
Right.
A small pot would be made with a lot thinner than a really chunky one.
Getting thicker as you get bigger.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that one works with that. This machine here is the pug mill. So the good thing about pottery is any scraps of clay, any offcuts, when they dry out. So for example, things like this, you'll throw them in a bucket of, you'll throw that kind of thing, because it's really brittle, you'll throw it into a bucket of water, an old bucket of water, which I have got in here. Not that you need to see all this, but at least you're seeing the down and dirty stuff as to what happens. So that will go in there and it basically becomes slop, slop, whatever you want to call it. Dry it out and you put it back through here. And it's just a giant machine to, I'm not going to put it on because it's really noisy. The clay goes into there, into the hopper at the top, that turns around, you're basically pulling it, squashing it down, and the reconstituted clay comes out this end. I did do a YouTube video on this pug mill. Well,
we'll find that and we'll put that in the comments below so people can see that.
Really noisy, it's me shouting really loud about, you pull that down and you change that. So once that comes out, it just needs kneading again and it's reconstructed, so nothing's wasted in the pottery, which is great.
That's what we like to hear.
Kilns here, so it gets lovely and toasty in here when you want to do it in winter time. And then I have a spray booth for literally attaching here, and there's probably a little bit left. A little bit of pressure in there from when I last did it. If I'm making oxides and things like that, then I will use the spray booth because I can get a lovely sort of spray finish. Anything else is hand painted. So there's a selection of a few glazes that I do, and then I have some little samples kicking around that I can show people, which works a little bit better. So that's really the whistle-stop tour of the pottery.
Excellent.
All right. Well, the actual working. So mind your footing as you go. There's some steps. I'll take you down to where I do where the finished pots are. Just mind your footing as you go. That's your pot. I don't know whether you want to look at that now or...
Oh, that's what's brought me here.
Do you want me to lift it?
That's what's brought me here, and there's a lot of people know that I'm looking at this pot.
Alright?
Yeah, a lot of people know that I'm looking at this pot, and a few people were a little bit disappointed that I got in first to be able to come and have a look. So this is number
7442.
7442 from China Mist, the bonsai potter.
Yeah, that's it.
And I do believe this is coming home with me, and it's the one that I said I'd put Nigel's name on to give him something to do when he's in the UK. Spoiler alert there for
there is a bit, isn't it?
that he's actually coming.
And we've got the pot for Peter to collect as well. So
yes, the other reason, the added reason for coming. So there you can see China Mist Pottery, bonsai pots and slabs, handmade in Yorkshire. And there's the website, but you're probably better off going to the Facebook page, I'm told.
You are indeed, yeah, you are. So I don't know if anybody wants to see Peter's pot.
Well, that's Peter's pot. Peter, this is your pot. It's on its way with its certificate, sold, with a little frog lizard thing on the side.
That's his
the certificate of authenticity, made on the 15th, or sold to you on the 15th.
On the 15th, anyway. Yeah.
And this is what you get with a pot from China Mist.
Pot number 7511. You can maybe just see that.
Yeah, well, we'll get in.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I'll put that in a bag. You can take that back. I'll stick it in there.
And as you can see, there's lots of pots up on the shelves. There's not a bad one there, to be fair.
Ready for the Doncaster show.
Yes, we'll be seeing you at the Doncaster show.
Yeah.
Look out for China Mist. You've seen them before when I've gone round the shows, and I've made sure to get cards and things in the videos. But
nice one.
Now that I've bought one, and you're going to see a bit of work done. Lots of accent pots.
Accents, and some of them are like cacti type pots, but
smaller raft slabs.
Yeah. There you go. That's
excellent. Well, thanks for having me, Steve.
Pleasure. All right. Thanks for the video.
I'm going to obviously end up with a bit of work to do now, and I think I've got plans for the tree that's going to go into that pot.
What's going in it? What you got in mind?
It's either going to be a larch forest, if we can work on the larch forest at this time, or in September, back end of September, or it's going to be a privet that I haven't actually bought yet, but I intend to, and it'll be at the back end of this video.
Your pocket again.
Yeah, and in the pocket again. And that's going to do it for this part of the video. Thanks for joining me and Steve here at China Mist. Don't forget, have a look in the details below. Visit the website, visit the Facebook. Go and have a look at the pots that are available. Can't say anything that's, there's not enough good words left to say about these pots.
Anything bad is what you're trying
to say. So get in and have a look. You won't go wrong. It's kind of where I'm at. You'll be fine with China Mist.
Centre of the world.
And then Doncaster on the 24th September, is it?
Correct, yes.
24th of September, the Doncaster car boot sale at Markham Grange. We'll see you there.
Will do. Thanks for watching.
While my certificate for my new pot is being written out, I just asked Steve if he'd mind if I had a quick walk around his trees, because he's not just a potter, he's a bonsai man as well. So it's not just, don't just want your money for the pots out of bonsai, he's into the hobby 100%. Let's go and have a look at his trees. Nice pond. And here we are, all displayed really, really nicely. Absolutely lovely. There's a little development section round there, that's where some more magic happens. We'll not go into there, but we'll just have a quick nosy around the garden. Forgot to say there's some trees there on display.
I'd love to put that in a bag for you, but it won't fit.
That will be fine on the back seat of my car.
There's your certificate.
I'm a little bit concerned because I'm not to be trusted with pots because I tend to break them. So as you can see, Steve's got some lovely trees, and funnily enough, all in nice pots.
Well, not all China Mist pots, but that's a trade secret.
Don't pot into your own. So there's some more down here. I'll quickly sneak us down here so we can get out of Steve's way and let him continue with his day. And there's some more down here. Nice forest. Have you had any problems with these, Steve?
No, none whatsoever. I keep reading about everybody else, and I feel really smug at the moment because, to the contrary, my yew have been.
Yeah, well, I noticed the yews
this year. They've put more growth on this year than they have every year, and I've trimmed that one as well.
And then you've got other people, especially bonsai experts and artists. Yeah. Tony Tickle in particular.
I defoliated these a bit ago. That's why they've. Yeah, that's why they're looking a bit shabby. They're lime.
Lime?
Lime, yeah. Yeah, so they're at the end of their... Plenty of buds on for next year though. We've got loads on there.
It's an interesting base. Have you...
yes, I made that. Yeah, because I wasn't keen on the Nabari, and it's got a strange gap, so I thought, do you know what? I'll make something. Like I made my waterfall from the pond. That's
the skills. I did notice the top of the waterfall with a bit of...
Yeah, they went in the kiln as well. The benefits of having a large kiln.
Benefits of being the potter and having lots of clay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're really come to the end of the season now. You can really tell, but I've got some really small leaves on this horse chestnut.
Yeah, mine are huge.
Yeah, I've got them.
Mind you, I haven't done any work to mine. So.
Yeah, I keep cutting it every year, and yeah.
Well, that lets me know what mine can be. Mine at the moment is just a big cloud of puffy big leaves.
You've got to keep them down. They're very apex dominant. Some work that was only repotted this year as well. So a lot of my trees are growing out this year because I've repotted and I've not touched them, and the roots on a few of them. There's a privet. So
yeah,
your slab, it's only a 2.5 inch thick.
So it can survive. If I do get that privet,
yeah, again,
I'm go in.
Just growing this out because all that middle bit is rotted away, so it needs carving back down. And I've got a challenge with this because I'm left with basically 2 trees. This was alive at one point.
Right. And you're going to try and keep it together with a carved effect in the middle?
Well, I don't know, because when that comes I might be left with an awkward gap and a slingshot type thing,
yeah.
So there's a challenge.
Got to keep as much of that in the middle as possible, then, haven't you?
Yeah.
To not have like a big V going off to the side.
A V shape, but it'll be one of them, yeah.
That's interesting.
It's like a sea monster, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like it's coming out of the sea, isn't it?
I often refer to it as
leaving its head behind.
Yeah.
And dragging itself forward.
A few years. It's been about 10 years, that I think.
It's almost like an octopusy sort of
it's got some
sea
kind
monster.
of sea creature about it.
That is interesting. Very cool. So,
thank you.
Once again, Steve, thank you very much for having me. Thank you. I better pay you for this pot.
Oh yeah, there's a rumour going around that it takes some getting out of you.
Yeah, put your hand in your pocket. So again, that's a quick tour of the trees. I'm going to go and part with some cash, and I'll see you again in a bit. So I hope you all enjoyed it there at China Mist with Steve. It was a great short bit of time there I had with Steve, but he has said that I can come along anytime and, you know, play a bit of pottery and mess around and do a few things. So we might go pot making at some stage very soon. We'll see. Maybe I can take some friends over to see him when we get some friends round. I've ordered some shelves and they've arrived. Really nice, rustic, purpose-made shelves. see they've been reclaimed. You can see saw marks in there from where they've been working as scaffold boards, and then they've been purposed with pipe, and you've seen me threading this pipe before, and it's a young couple that make these. I'll put some details in for the young couple because they've done me an absolute fantastic job. But we're going to get the drill, the big drill, and the smaller drill. So we've got the Hilti and the big 18 volt Bosch SDS, and we're going to put them on that back wall there, there and there, and maybe we'll be able to tidy up a few more things that are around here, and then potentially we can get the new pot in and have a look at it. So let me crack on drilling and banging away up the back there and see how this goes. So I'll head up with shelf number 1, and it's not going to be measured for perfection or done in any methodical way other than here, here and here. The only thing we are going to make sure is that we get these level. So this is going to be the taller shelf. Let's get the level on. Check it for level. We're a bit high on the right. It's going to be out with the brickwork by the looks of this, which will be frustrating. So that's level. But with the brickwork, it looks miles out. So I think what we'll do is we'll abandon the level and we'll get level with the brickwork, and we'll go with that. If I go with the level, go with it being level, it'll look terrible. So let's just mark this with the Sharpie. Wrap that in. Oh. Down a little bit on that side. Oh. And we'll get this marked. So we've got the big Bosch drill on hammer. I'll quieten this bit down. So that's shelf number 1 in place. Pretty solid. So it slightly runs down that way, I think it was. So the water will run off, that's a good thing. But it's level with the brickwork, so at least it doesn't look as if it's out. So we've got the free drain of the slant, the natural slant. And let's get shelves number 2 and 3 in position. So that's the shelves up, sweating a bit. It wasn't really hard work, it was just getting down and underneath the shelves that was a bit of a problem. But they're in. The top one's kind of in line with the brickwork. The second one is a lot clearer in line with the brickwork, but the third one, for some reason, even though I measured it quite well, this end's higher. You can see on the brickwork it seems to go down. But all I'm going to do is possibly just stack pots and things like that. It's going to be storage. I did have the thought of putting some trees, but there's not a lot of light. There's the light that comes through the polycarbonate, but that's very short. So rather than ruining these beautiful shelves, I think we'll be storing some nice pots and things on there and make a bit of a feature out of it. Is everything alright in there, Pete? I've squashed the soil down a little bit, I think. So all these were chopped down during the year, and they're all putting out lots of new growth. You can see the cherry there is putting out, and yeah, everything continues to grow and do well. The horse chestnut down there, I took it right back after taking off those huge fantastic leaves. we'll see what that comes back like during next year. It has put some tiny little leaves there, bless it. So it's still happy, it's still growing, just like most other things are still doing. Pete, get out of the moss, you can't drink moss water, go on. So everything's pretty much doing quite well. I was testing out the moisture meter. It says it's moist, so the moisture meter is reading moist. A few little baby trees up there on a little circle that I bought, display. Just slowly getting things into some sort of order. So that's going to do it again for today. We'll bring the pot in and do a bit of something of that going forward. I think we might take it to go and check a tree out. I've got a tree in mind, hopefully. I've just got to measure it first and let the guy know how big it is. So get out there, make the best of the rest of your day, be kind to each other, animals and the planet, and as always I will see you again in the next one.